Welcome back to AUB's Innovation Park. My name is Arthur. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Lemonade Fashion and the entrepreneur in residence of AUB's Innovation Park. The reason why we do this show every single week is because we want to introduce you to the most amazing entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, and investors because they can motivate you to do the same thing. Every single one of us and every single one of you has what it takes to become an entrepreneur, and you are needed. We want your businesses because entrepreneurs make the world a better place. What is entrepreneurship if it's not finding the biggest problems in the world and turning them into realities, turning them into opportunities and solution? The bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity, the bigger the business that you're building. And guests like Jimi Ibrahim, who is with me in the studio today, have actually done that successfully for a very long time. Jimi is a serial entrepreneur, which means he has built multiple businesses. He is such a cool investor. He's an investor in Lemonade Fashion as well. I love to consider him a good friend, a mentor, an advisor, a colleague. So we're working together on a couple of things right now. We're going to have an amazing show. Make sure to tune in after these songs. And as always, the show is brought to you by the Talal al-Madiha Zein AUB Innovation Park. Welcome back to AUB's Innovation Park. My name is Arthur. We have with us Jimi Ibrahim, who is the co-founder of OASIS X, as well as a very big investor in both crypto and other amazing startups, including Lemonade Fashion and other amazing startups as well. Jimi, welcome to our studio.
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, team, for having me here.
So, Jimi, can you tell us a bit, first of all, about OASIS X?
Sure. So OASIS X started as an NFT marketplace and a launchpad. We were the first registered NFT marketplace in the UAE. After that, within our first year and a half, we became the biggest in the MENA, attracting more than 600 artists, more than 30 brands that launched their digital experiences or digital collectibles or basically collections with us. End of last year, in 2023, sorry, we pivoted into modern loyalty programs. So now we leverage the blockchain and we leverage digital assets to create more of an experiential loyalty to retain and to raise, of course, revenue for any business or brand that wants to enter the Web3 space. So in a way, we became Web3 enablers for any business or brand out there.
I actually love that because that's something we wanted to do with Lemonade Fashion. We wanted to add a blockchain with gamification and loyalty, and actually OASIS X is the company that is building that for us because I personally think they're the best. But Jimi is so much more than just the founder of OASIS X. He's also that expecting. So that's wrong. What's the term? An expecting father. He is also an expecting father. I'm whispering because I'm not supposed to say it, but we'll be back. So welcome back to the show. We have with us Jimi Ibrahim, who is a serial entrepreneur, and no, that does not mean he likes cereal. It actually means he has built multiple successful businesses. I apologize for the stupid jokes, okay? I am a cheesy person, but it comes with the job title. So Jimi, you're actually a very successful entrepreneur, but you're also a very big investor. So what are the things that get you excited? Like, how do you see opportunities? How do you know that, you know what, this is something I want to invest in or be a part of?
So in a way, in my investment strategy, I like to enter, especially if I'm entering a new market or a new industry, is to learn a lot. Part of why I invest these days is not only to add value or to have a financial return, is eventually to also know the ins and outs of certain industries that I wasn't or hadn't had the chance to kind of really be close to. And when that happens, and mostly if you're dealing with an early stage startup, the projections are there, the industry is there, it's exciting, but mostly it's about the founders, right, and their history and what they're going through and how I can be of added value and how I can help with opening up the UAE market. So it's just about a gut feeling and an interesting topic or industry that's up and coming, more or less related to innovation. I like new things. I used to go to CES in Vegas for fun as a kid, and I've always been into kind of modern and innovative, industries and topics. So that's how I invest.
That is awesome. What's your favorite song? We're back on AUB's Innovation Park. My name's Arthur. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Lemonade Fashion and the entrepreneur in residence of AUB's Innovation Park. We have with us Jimi Ibrahim, who is the co-founder of OASIS X, one of the coolest startups in the region that are revolutionizing the blockchain industry, bringing blockchain to every single business that actually wants to support you. So they support the people supporting you to have more fun on their websites, basically, and to make more loyalty programs, more loyalty points, get rewards. So Jimmy is the guy behind it, but he's also an amazing investor, looks for a lot of opportunities. So Jimmy, you connect with a lot of founders, and you're a founder-first type of investor. So my question to you is, how should founders actually reach out to you? And what would you say is that relationship building phase, and what do you look for?
Awesome. So basically, especially being in the UAE region and in Dubai specific, there is a lot of in real life events that happen there, right? And what I've learned through my last couple of years really pushing down on investments and entrepreneurship is I understand that people like to talk to people, right? So all of these cold campaigns, all of these reach outs with no prior premise or reference is really just going to waste both of our times. I believe that it's who you know in life, right? Building the right networks, and to be able to build the right networks and to be relevant, right, is to go and to mix with people and to show and to share your passion with them, right, and to share how devoted you are to your business. And that, for an investor like me, that's really a founder focus, gives a lot of points to that. So instead of trying to find my email through a certain kind of, forum or something, just try and see which events are relevant to the industry you're in. Where can you meet the most investors or founders like yourselves to learn from, and then go and mix with that community, especially with Web3. Community is the base of all of it.
I actually have a very, very funny story about everything you're talking about right now. So I'll share that after these songs, so make sure to tune in, and it's very, very funny. This is AUB's Innovation Park. My name's Arthur. I'm with Jimi Ibrahim, a good friend of mine, an investor, a partner. We work together on multiple things. So before the songs, which, again, Lara rudely makes sure to add and interrupts our amazing conversation, but before the song, we were talking about the importance of meeting people in person and building that relationship. And I said I have a very funny story about that. So yesterday I was talking to an amazing entrepreneur in New York. His name is Khaled Kteile, who actually built an entire company around sperm and raised $50 million to make sperm great again. I'm not even kidding. It's one of the biggest startups ever, and his one advice was that always make sure to go meet your partners, advisors, and investors in person. He's like, make that investment, build those relationships, because those relationships are worth so much more than the time you're going to spend getting there and the money that you're going to spend getting there. You might not see the direct result, but at the end of the day, relationships take time to build, and it's one pillar after the other. So Jimmy, thank you so much for that amazing advice. And I hear congratulations are in order. You're going to be a papa.
Yes, I am. Hopefully healthy boy coming in December.
Are you excited?
Very, very excited. We're floating. It's really awesome.
We have Jimi Ibrahim in the Virgin Radio studio today in Lebanon. Jimmy, it's so good to have you in Lebanon, to be honest. So Jimmy and I, we met in Qatar, we did business together in Dubai, and now we're here together in our lovely country. So Jimmy, what are some of the, let's say, advice that you might have to our young listeners who want to start their own businesses?
All right. My 2 cents on this topic would be definitely I'm going to recall the words of Nelson Mandela, right? Nelson Mandela says, I only win or I learn, right? I do not lose. So I really, really would highly advise any startup founder to really enjoy the failures and learn from every single thing that stands in your way to reach your goal, because those are what are going to teach you for life, honestly. Like some lessons are very expensive, some lessons come at a very cheap price if you're lucky.
And you're a father-to-be, so what would you want your kid and kids hopefully to learn from your life? Like what would be the one thing you really want them to learn from you?
Just experience as much as you can, learn as much as you can, expose yourself to as many things that you don't know as you can. And if you're lucky, if you get not 10% of the learning experience you can from those, it would be even better than going through the normal route of just, just benefiting from the education that experience gives you.
Amazing. This was Wisdom Hour with Jimi Brahim. We have such a lovely show today. I have a good friend of mine, Jimi Brahim, in the studio. He's the co-founder of OASIS X and a serial investor. My name's Arthur. I'm the entrepreneur in residence of AUB's Innovation Park and the CEO of Lemonade Fashion. Jimi, you shared a lot of wisdom today with our listeners. It was all about learning from life, keep on experiencing. You don't really fail until you give up, right? So experience as much as you can and learn from every single mistake because it makes you a better person and build meaningful relationships. So how would people connect with you? Like, there's a way that I know how I can connect them, which if they pay me $100, I can send an intro. But other than that, how would you like them to be connected to you?
There is that, but maybe we can start with LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, Jimi Brahim, Jimi. I'm on Instagram as well, like, just if you want to see a bit of the life behind the entrepreneur. But other than that...
What about Telegram?
Telegram also, I can share with you my Telegram. But ultimately, I'd love to see you in an event. I'd love to see you. We might be planning a tech event end of the summer, so I'll give you a bit more info on that once we have things ready. But other than that...
So follow Jimi Brahim on LinkedIn and on Instagram, and then he will share the details of the event, and then you can RSVP, and then maybe even reach out and say, hey, I heard you on Virgin Radio, would love to come and meet you in person at this event. I think that would be really cool.
Please do, yep.
Today on Virgin Radio, we had an amazing show with Jimi Brahim, who's the co-founder of OASIS X and an amazing entrepreneur and an amazing investor. On this show today, we discussed everything that has to do from how to connect meaningfully with investors, how to build proper relationships, how to never give up and learn from every single experience because you don't really fail until you give up. Everything that happens is either a life lesson. So if you take it either as a lesson or a success, then you're actually always solid and you're always golden, as they say it. So yeah, make sure to be disciplined, make sure to be persistent, make sure to surround yourself with amazing people like Jimi. Connect with them on Instagram, connect with them with LinkedIn. So he is very active. You can always reach out to him and meet him in person in all of the events that are happening across the region. I actually met Jimi in Qatar during Web Summit, and that is the importance of being in these types of events. And what's really cool is that actually AUB's Innovation Park sends you to these events. We've sent so many of our startups to Web Summit in Qatar. We're sending them now to Cyprus. We're sending them to San Francisco. All of our startups are actually raising funds from the program. So make sure, if you want to become an entrepreneur, to go to our website. It's aub.edu.lb/iPark, or just Google AUB and Innovation Park. My name is Arthur. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Lemonade Fashion. I want to see you succeed. That's why I became AUB's entrepreneur in residence, because I want to guide you on your journey to success. This show is brought to you by the Talal al-Madiha Zein AUB Innovation Park. Make sure to tune in next week as well, and the week after, and after, and after, and after, until Virgin kicks my ass out of the studio. Have you ever wondered how ideas turn into successful businesses? Do you want to become...
Sorry, that's...
All right, you're good.
Okay, there we go.
Have you ever wondered how ideas turn into successful businesses? Do you want to become an entrepreneur but don't know where to get started? Join me, Arthur, this Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. on Virgin Radio Lebanon. Join me, Arthur, this Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. on Virgin Radio Stars, where I'm chit-chatting with a very good friend of mine who's also an investor in our company, who is Jimi Brahim, the co-founder of OASIS X.
Hey, this is Jimi. Join us on Friday.
On today's episode, we actually talked how to raise investment and how to connect with investors and how to never give up as a startup founder. As always, the show is brought to you by the Talal al-Madiha Zein AUB Innovation Park.